Okay, so now that we understand what slope means and intercepts, now let's graph. We're still going to graph lines, right? Linear equations, right? But we're going to use, by using the slope intercept form. Okay, so the slope intercept form basically is, so recall the standard form, right? The standard, well, actually, let me just erase that really quick. Okay, the standard form, remember, was ax plus by equals c, right? This is the standard form that we've been working with, where you find intercepts. Well, we can translate this equation to look like this, as follows: y equals mx plus b. Okay, this is called the slope intercept form, right? It's not the standard form, it's the slope intercept form. And it's called the slope intercept form because it has a slope, right? It's right there, whatever m is. And intercept, well, which intercept? It's actually the y-intercept that they're talking about. And that y-intercept is 0, comma, and then whatever b is. So this is a quick way to graph lines, especially if it looks like y equals mx plus b. So let me quickly show you how this works. Okay, so what is this? Example 7. Okay, so let's say you have y equals, I don't know, 2x minus 1. Okay, I want to graph this using the slope-intercept form. Why? Because there's my slope, and what's my y-intercept? Well, it's always 0, comma, negative 1, right? It's going to be on the y-axis because it's the y-intercept. So to quickly, right, graph this line, it's my y-axis and my x. First, you plot the point. Well, there's my point right there, right? 0, negative 1, right? It's always on the y-axis. Okay, that's where you start. And now you move, your slope guides you. It tells you where to go, right? We don't have another point to connect the dots, so use the slope. Now the slope means it's really 2 over 1, right? And remember, this means rise over run. So that means, since it's positive, right? Both of these are positive. If I go up 2, right, that's 1, right? So 1, 2, and so forth. If I go up 2 and to the right 1, right, I find a new point. And I can keep doing this, right? This is a little staircase. I can go up 2 over 1, up 2, over 1. And if you connect the dots, right, you should get a nice straight line. So if you have a point and a slope, that's all you have to do. Okay, so let's quickly do a negative one. So let's see, example, let's do y equals negative, let's see, negative 2, well, negative x, how about negative x plus 3. Okay, so my slope, my m, right, is equal to negative 1, right? It's the coefficient in front of x. Okay, what's my y-intercept? My y-intercept is, it's always 0, right? Because it's going to be a y-intercept, comma, whatever this number is. So that's 3. And I should have written, I like how I wrote, well, I don't want it to be too cumbersome, but uh, I just like the way I wrote the slope first and the y-intercept. And now that we have our information, now we can graph it. So a quick Cartesian plane. So you always start with your intercept, which is right there. And my slope, well, we actually like fractions here. We want to put this over 1, right? Because negative, negative 1 is the same thing as negative 1 over 1. It doesn't matter where that negative sign is. I'm just going to leave it, well, let's put it on the bottom just to practice. But it doesn't matter if it's in the top, in the middle, or in the numerator, or denominator, numerator, and the middle. Since I'm let this be positive, this is going to be up 1, right? Because that's the y. And then the x, left or right, the run, that's going to go to the left 1 unit. So from this point, I'm going to go up 1, right? So that's 1. And then I'm going to go to the left 1 unit, right? So let's say that's 1. And then I found a point, and that's it. I mean, I can keep doing this again to generate more points. I can do, again, I can go up 1, and then I can go to the left 1 unit, and there's another point. So if we connect the dots, there is our linear equation. Now, I do want to say, let me erase this. If I have, really quick, so this is what I used. What if you wanted to use negative 1 over 1? Well, that would mean, right, this is up or down, so it's negative, right, rise over run. Rise implies up or down, so this is, if you want to use even an arrow, down 1 unit, and this really means, I don't want to confuse this, this really means to the right 1 unit. So if we start with the same point, right, our intercept, and I go down 1, okay, there's down 1, and I shift over 1 unit, you still get the same line, right? Down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1. So again, it's you get a staircase, and that's it. So it actually doesn't matter. I mean, I would pick either the top or the bottom, just because when it's in the middle, well, that doesn't really tell you anything. Okay, one last example, because this is important. Let's see, I want to pick a, let's see, let's do 2y, let's see, equals, no, not 2y, 3y, equals 2x plus 6. Okay, this is our linear equation, but notice it's not in slope-intercept form, right? We want basically to solve for y equals mx plus b. Why do we want this form? Because then I know what the slope is, and then I have my point. But it's not clear in the equation that we have. So let's put it in slope-intercept form, right? We can do that. We have 3y equals 2x plus 6. Okay, I want to solve for y. Well, I have 3y, so if I want to solve for y, all I have to do is divide both sides by 3, right? Because I want a 1 here, right, or 1y, which is y, and right, that's exactly what we want. And y equals, well, 2/3, right, x plus, and then that's 2. And now this is in slope-intercept form, right? Y equals, this is your m, x, right, and this guy is your b. So if we write this down, your slope is 2/3, which means, so rise over run, it's positive, so I'm going to go up 2, right? It's either up or down, and the bottom is the x's, so it's left or right, and in this case, you're going to go to the right 3. And maybe I'll just point this out. I mean, you know, -2 over -3 is the same thing as 2/3, right? So I'll keep that in mind just because you can use the other one, especially when you're running out of room on graph paper. Okay, so y-intercept. What's my y-intercept? Well, it's a point, right? It's always 0, comma, what my b is. So my b is 2. Oh, whoops. So I'm going to move this up. So 2/3 and 0, comma 2. So quick sketch. And I'm just trying to erase this, but I guess I can't. 0, 2. That's horrible. Pretend that's a straight vertical line. So this guy is 0, 2, right? My y-intercept, right? It's on the y-axis. And my slope was 2, 3, right? 2 over 3, 2/3. So I'm going to go up 2, right? I'm going to go up 2 and to the right 3. So 1, 2, 3, right? And then to the right 3 units. And then there's your new point. And again, you can keep doing this. You can go up 2 over 3. Right? There's your 3, right? There's your 2. And again, if you connect, right, the lines or the points, you get a straight line. And it's a positive slope, right? So you're definitely rising. Okay, I know that was a lot of information, but this section is very important. And okay, I'll see you guys tomorrow.